Hello, this is Reverend Robert from Muskegon, Michigan. I'd like to speak with you today in the capacity of my role as Director of the LGBT Support Services. I know that many of you are upset. I've been speaking with my good friend Reverend David Ragsdale in South Carolina and other ministers, preachers throughout the country who are experiencing a great deal of backlash because of the Supreme Court decision on marriage equality. And quite honestly, I'm baffled by this. I'm baffled by why people are upset. We are a nation of laws, and the Supreme Court has said that marriage equality is the law of the land now in all 50 states. Now, I know that millions of you are upset about this, basically for religious reasons, that you don't think it's right, that you think the country is now in a state of moral decay because some human beings were granted the right to marry who they love. And oddly enough, we're given the same right as the rest of you were given from the beginning of time. So, I'm confused with your anger. Again, I can see it if you have it some on religious grounds, but that doesn't even hold water a lot of times for many people. Let's let the LGBT community have their day. They have every right to celebrate. They have every right to take to the streets and say, we are happy, we are free. We have been given the same freedom that the rest of the people in this nation have been given hundreds of years ago. So why can't we just celebrate with them? Let's put aside any of your, that differences. We all have differences. A lot of you have differences with me. I have differences with some of you. We can still get along. We can still appreciate the fact of who we are, how we're living our lives, what we want for one another, what we want for this great nation. So how about it? How about if we just look at this group of people and say, celebrate. You have been a people who have been suppressed, and now you have the right to marry. And it's not over yet. If anybody thinks this is the end, okay, they got the right to marry now, be quiet now, and that's all we want to hear from you. This is just starting. Millions and millions of people in this country and the LGBT community can still be fired from their jobs, can still be denied housing, can still be denied the right to adopt children throughout this nation because of who they are. So this is the first step. The war hasn't been won. This battle has been won. But the war will still rage on if we want to look at it in those terms. I'd rather look at it in the terms of something peaceful. Can we come together? Can we acknowledge the fact that we have differences in our society? That we have all sorts of different groups of people. And every group of people, every American citizen, has the right to be treated equally across the board by the laws of this nation. So, I understand you're angry, but when I hear some of the ultra right-wing Christian conservatives, wow, I'm not trying to judge you, but I don't know how you can maintain the title minister or reverend or any other title and talk about the things that you're talking about. To the one minister who threatened to set himself on fire. I'm personally glad you didn't set yourself on fire. Even if now you're trying to backtrack and say, well, that's not what I meant. I'm happy that you didn't set yourself on fire. Because I want you now to be able to see that this group of people that you were so opposed to having any rights, watch them now. They're going to be fine. They're not going to disrupt the moral factor. They're not going to try to overtake the nation. They are just going to be wonderful, loving people. Some will become loving parents. And nothing is going to be destroyed. So, again, don't burn yourself. To the couple that said they were going to get divorced because the Supreme Court would rule for gay marriage. If that's what your marriage is based on, do you really have a marriage to speak of? Come on. Let's do this. Let's acknowledge that a group of people, you have to say yes, this group of people, especially the group of people of the transgender community, which are very dear to my heart, have been suppressed. We still have LGBT young people who are killing themselves because they're constantly bullied in school or on the streets. They're being attacked. A couple of weeks ago, the 8th transgender woman in the United States was murdered. That's 8 too many. So this is going to be a long road, and it's going to be a long road that's going to get hot and heavy between now and the elections in 2016. I've said that for months and months. Let's not declare war on one another. Let's not make this an issue of hate. Let's make this an issue of let's come together. Let's be who we are as a nation. Let's acknowledge that we have differences. And let's support one another. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to agree with me. You can still maintain your own beliefs. But let's not take our beliefs and try to ram them down the throats of someone else. Join me. Let's be a peaceful nation again. Let's be really concerned about every citizen in our nation. And let's come together and appreciate all of us. As always, you have my love and support.